Okay, guys, so I get asked about this all the time. So we're just gonna do a video of it, and I guess we'll update it every now and then, during with big changes. You guys are always asking for a stash tour, so we are gonna go through the entirety of the ridiculous stash this way. We mostly have our junk cases. That's just where all the loot gets dumped. Anything of value for trades, anything we'll need for hideout crafting, questing, anything like that gets dumped in here. I also have a tendency, I try to build things up to sell them in bulk, if it's flea marketable, found in raid items. We have our dog tag cases. I stack the AI2s and bandages from scav runs or just filling up loot spots, because you should never leave a raid with any open slots if you can help it. So I will pick these up if that's all that's available on scav runs or just kind of dead PMC runs. Fill them up in here, and they're very good for crafting meds, which you need to craft the more valuable stims and the like. Here we have our grenades. The smokes in here. These are pretty much all bogs, F1s, that sort of thing. Never want to be without grenades if you can help it. Here we have our assorted foolishness crate. We don't buy any of this sort of stuff. This is just murder loot. And here we have our PKO6s and weapons. Pretty much these are all player weapons that we killed someone and they were running one of these. Sometimes we strip the parts off and sell them. Other times it was an interesting fight or an interesting weapon. We'll pop the mag out, take the pistol grip off, and hide it in one of these weapons cases for later. These are pretty much all full like this, which is neat. A lot of the times, especially when they're weird or interesting weapons, you'll absolutely remember the fight you had with the guy to grab it, which is always a fun trip. And here we keep armor, fill the extra space with just helmets. This is our meds. I try to keep everything labeled and sorted pretty well. Again, that helps a lot with flea marketing. If you're doing a lot of flea marketing, keeping everything labeled, sorted, very nice. Very nice. Absolutely not supposed to be in there. Generally, I'll fill one of the cases up with found in raid morphine, assorted injectors, things like that, Vaseline painkillers. Once I have a certain amount, generally a full case, and I need more space, we'll list them all. And generally you can sell them at a slight premium because people who want to buy 10, 5, 10, 15 of these at a time will pay a little extra. And it's a nice way to store and make money. And here we have our dumb helmets. These are dumb helmets because they didn't save any of the people wearing them. This is dumb shit, mostly for the same reason. This is all armor off of dead guys. We have more guns. These are all full, same sort of thing. Just pulled them off players we've killed and stored them in here. Either run, part out, or do general foolishness with. They're all full. And here we have rigs. Now, some of these are filled with helmets, night visions, that sort of thing. It's pretty much just a spot to put armored rigs. Same with this one and this one. Keep armor and armored rigs in these. They're all full with helmets and such. I generally don't run a lot of armored rigs, so we don't go in here all that much. In here, just more broken down weapons. This is food and keys. I have not gone through my keys this wipe. I have to do that. I pretty much just dump them in here, and we'll go through them and sell them at some point. I keep food in here. Now, hot rods, very good trade. Plenty of trades with the Tarkolas. The hot rods will get you ammo, good ammo, 545 BS. Pretty much these, you can craft them now, but you find them all over. And if you like running the 545 AKs, it's basically the best ammo for those. Free. Just looted stuff. We have our money cases. Just have money in them. Not particularly complicated. These are our gun parts. Now I keep them sorted with weapons cases. It basically expands the amount you can hold in one thick case. I usually also, every now and then I'll go through and stick everything on a mount, reduce it to 1x1 size. These are all pretty much full of what they're labeled as. PKO 6s, suppressors, grips, that sort of thing. Which is nice. If I am building any sort of gun, I pretty much have what I need on hand. And I also generally will keep a ton of these. If I fill it up with Found and Raid, like MUR 1S uppers, then I can list, 10 or 20 of those at a time and make a substantial amount of money. This case is for mustaches and shroud masks. We're on our way to filling it up. Generally, I don't find a lot of mustaches. We also keep, the cap items, that sort of thing that you need in here. Another gun parts crate. This one is not as sorted with weapons cases, but it doesn't really need to be. Eventually, we'll get there. This is where we keep our backpacks. I keep the betas and tri-zips on this side. The larger backpacks in here, and this stack is virtually unlimited. I think it takes like 5 or 6 minutes to click through. But they're pretty much all off players we've killed. I just grab a backpack if I have one, or if they have one, and we kill them, and put it in the stack. This way, I'm never without whatever backpack I want to run. Convenient. We keep our ammunition in here. I try to keep an ammo case for pretty much everything ever that I find on players, in caches and crates, on scavs. And basically, if I'm going to run this gun, I'll use the non-found and raid ammo. I'll store the found and raid ammo till I have a substantial amount, and then I'll sell it all in one, bulk quantity to make a outrageous amount of money. BT, Igolnik, and BS, outrageous money off of Killa. He can also have the AP 6.3 or the Luger, both of which in a substantial quantity can be worth quite a bit. Not as much as the 545 ammunition. We have 3 more parts crates. This one we've started with the weapons sorting, the crates. The auto sort feature is a godsend. So if I'm looking at this and I go, oh, what do I have to sell? This sorts like with like, and I can look through and go very quickly, how many of these are found in raid? Is it worth, listing all these at this time? Makes it extremely convenient, extremely quick. Highly recommend it. I would not do it in your inventory. I personally haven't had the bug where it will reset you or delete items or, whatever people are saying it's doing, but it will fuck up any sort of organization you have. Inside crates, though, absolutely wonderful. This is where we keep our magazines. Just pretty much anything for guns we'll use. I generally keep ones filled with ammo, either that we want to keep, that we will run frequently in these, and these will be found in raid. For example, off Killa, we'll get a ton of found in raid 60 rounder 545s, and I'll sell 2 crates of these at a time, and it'll be a substantial amount of money. Very good for your flea market rating as well. These are just more guns. We have a ton of them in here. These are all full, like this. Most of these are probably from significantly earlier. We also keep, this is the one I go through the most, is our specific hunter build, the Long Dong case, as well as magazines for it. These are all full as well of just assorted guns off players we've killed. Again, broken down, you can maximize the amount of storage we have here. I also keep, examples of builds we, mostly meme builds, but builds we like to run on occasion for reference. We have our Sleeper 8R, our Turkey Gobbler, and that is basically the stash. And right now we are at 649 million rubles stash value. Last wipe we hit 1,100 million rubles, but I'm not quite sure that that is possible any longer, because they fairly recently got rid of the ability to put cases inside backpacks inside other cases, which is how we were able to achieve the 1.1 billion stash last wipe. I haven't done the math, but it's fairly close on how you'd have to do it intentionally and in a very specific way by buying and storing small, extremely high value items. And it basically, they lose value when you buy them and store them, because they're only worth what you'd get from the trader for them. So all this stuff is worth 649 million rubles if I just vendored all of it right now. No flea market, anything like that. For example, every good example of that is you can buy, well, I guess do the trade for the thick eye cases, defib, Ledex, ibuprofen. Now, every time you do the trade for one of these, your stash value goes down by about 11 million rubles, just because these aren't worth much to vendors. It's the same thing with weapons parts, attachments, guns, everything like that. So you'd have to do something like purchase or find a large amount of high value 1x1 items and store them, I think, to hit the 1 billion stash value as of today. But thank you guys for checking it out. You guys are always asking for a tour of the stash, so I thought we'd do a video. And this way we can just send you to the video when you ask, and there'll be slightly less derailment, because as you can see, it takes quite a while to actually go through all of it. Thank you guys for stopping by.